They call them ARGs, short for alternate reality games. It's a blend of game and reality, a narrative puzzle that spills into the real world, with clues you have to unravel both online and off. That's how I found myself enmeshed in VeilSight, a game that promised to be the epitome of immersive experiences. I remember the night it all began. A cryptic email landed in my inbox with coordinates and a time. Being an avid RG player, I recognized the format instantly. It was an invitation, and I was eager to dive in. But as I followed the breadcrumbs, through abandoned warehouses, into the depths of obscure web forums, and across cityscapes guided by starless skies, the game's nature morphed into something I hadn't signed up for. The first unsettling moment came when a puzzle led me to an old, rusted children's hospital, long abandoned. Inside, amidst the peeling paint and the musty air that reeked of decay, was a room with walls covered in what looked like a child's drawings. They were innocent enough until I realized they depicted scenes from my own childhood, memories I had never shared online. The game's tasks started to invade my life in the most disturbing ways. I received phone calls with no one on the other end, only the faint sound of breathing before the line went dead. Photos of me at various locations popped up in the game's forum, locations I had visited days, sometimes hours, ago. I tried to back out then, to walk away from the game, but it wouldn't let me. The more I tried to disconnect, the more VeilSight showed me it was everywhere. My social media accounts were hacked, posting riddles that led to dark web links, and my friends said I would send them messages in code, messages I had no memory of writing. The final straw was when I awoke one night to find my room bathed in the soft glow of my computer screen. On it was a live feed of my own sleeping form from moments before. Frozen in terror, I watched as the camera angle changed, revealing a figure standing in the corner of my room. When I turned, there was nothing there, but the figure on the screen remained. VeilSight was no longer just a game. It was a nightmare that I couldn't wake up from. It knew things about me that it couldn't possibly know. It showed me things that couldn't possibly be real. Yet, they felt as real as the fear that now gripped me every waking moment. They say you never really quit an ARG, you just stop playing. But VeilSight never stopped. It just stopped showing me the strings it pulled to make my world dance to its sinister tune. Sometimes, late at night, I still get the urge to solve one last riddle, to follow one last clue. But I resist, because I know that in the game of VeilSight, you don't play the game, it plays you. And somewhere in the back of my mind, a chilling thought persists. Perhaps the game isn't over. Maybe it's just waiting, biding its time until it decides to play again. With the persistent thrum of unease, I came to realize that VeilSight had ensnared me in a web from which there was no escape. The game seeped into my dreams, transforming them into vivid nightmares that mirrored the tasks I had performed during my waking hours. It wasn't just a game. It was a descent into madness. The final riddle VeilSight presented to me wasn't found through a cryptic email or a shadowy forum. It was in my own hand, scrawled across the bathroom mirror in a writing that quivered with a fear I didn't remember feeling. It asked for something impossible, something that chilled my blood and made my heart seize with terror. Finish the game, it read, and find what lies beyond the veil. But there was nothing left to solve, no clues I hadn't followed to their dreadful conclusions. The only thing that remained was the veil itself. the thin line between my reality and the game's shadowy realm. It was then that I understood the truth of VeilSight. The game would never end because it had no end. It was an eternal loop of terror, designed to fray the edges of sanity until there was nothing left but the game itself. I was no longer a player. I had become part of the game, a pawn moved by unseen hands, forever trapped in its malignant narrative. Sometimes, in the stillness of the night, I feel the urge to look for that final puzzle piece, to tear through the veil and confront whatever lies on the other side. But the fear keeps me paralyzed, for in the game of VeilSight, to play is to lose, and to win is to face an even darker reality, a reality where the game is all there is, a never-ending cycle of horror that consumes everything. And as I sit here, typing this last account, I can't shake the feeling that somewhere, in the unseen corners of the world, VeilSight is still playing with someone else, weaving its narrative into the fabric of their life. And one day, perhaps, it will tire of them, as it did of me, and it will come back to claim what it left behind. The game is never over. It merely waits, hungering for the next player to cross the veil.